Alrighty, and we should be live now. Yep, there we are. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. We are live with our set review stream. Let me get chat pulled up here. Alrighty. So, I'm now realizing that you can't see my screen, huh? Well, if you wanna, here, I'll send you the links to the searches that I have, and then you can just follow along. So I assume we'll go over commanders first, and then talk about the comments. Yep, just top to bottom, alphabetical order. Alrighty. So first up on our list here, we have Akiri, Fearless Voyager. We'll also probably only be talking about cards that we think will actually be impactful in the competitive scene, just to keep this short, because there's like 80 cards that are downshifted in this set. So, but yeah, Akiri first up. I think this is a card that could potentially do something. I mean, it's a 3 mana Boros commander that has card draw attached to it and protection. So I don't think it's bad. Yeah, I don't know. What kind of equipment are you looking for in this? You've got Bone Splitter and Bone Saw. Um, there's a new equipment that's okay. Beamtown Beatstick. Let's see. I'm looking through common equipment, and yeah, we've got 106 options, but most of them are mediocre. Um, can't hear you. Interesting. You should be coming through on here.
Can't hear me.
How about now? Can you guys hear him now?
Not sure. This is me talking. Can we hear me? Hello.
Fixed. Okay, we got it. Cool, cool.
Awesome.
Alrighty. So yeah, we were just saying we've got some good equipment, but yeah, there's just not a lot of super impactful equipment. There's like haste enablers, but for the most part they are just stats, which is just not great.
Yeah, I mean it's really hard because like the second ability on this unattaching. So actually, you know what? Let me rewind entirely. How many times have we said if the commander is viable if you're drawing cards, right? So the fact that this says draw cards, I find it to be viable. But I think the equipment are holding it back. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it draws cards, but we'll have to see if there's a win condition that we don't know about, because there haven't really been that many big equipment decks that weren't Voltron. So
Yeah,
maybe there's
that's
some
true.
win conditions that we just don't know about, but yeah. Hey, Findhorn, what's up? Um, yeah, we can move on to the next one. You got Anafenza. I don't know if there's really much to talk about here. I don't think this deck's particularly good. Do you have a different opinion?
So I've been working on this list with a few. Let me rephrase my statement. I have seen people working on this list, and I've been giving 2 cents of input. Um, I think it could have legs. The more sets that
Really?
come out, the better. So so you could look at it from two different perspectives. If I put a 2 mana 3/1 into play, I put a 2 mana 4/2 into play, right? So if
Okay,
I
so
fill my
stats.
decks, yeah, fill of 4/2s and have this, you're dead real quick. But if I fill my deck full of 1/2s, I have 2/3s, right? That's half of what we're doing before. So it's very dependent on what you're doing and what you're building for. Um, you know,
Okay,
ha-
but like, why would you fill your deck with four twos when you could play gut and fill your deck with 1 mana 6/3 menaces that draw a card?
I don't disagree.
I just don't think
But
this is great.
I mean, so for this in general, though, I don't think we should compare all of them to the best commanders, right? Because like if we kind of do, we're just gonna like drown, right?
Sure, but I just think this thing's niche is mono white counters, which I don't know if they really have payoffs for. And if you don't have payoffs for the counters, it's just making things slightly bigger, which just doesn't seem very good.
Well, a 4/2 is better than a 3/1, and an army of 4/2s is better than an army of 2/3s, right?
Sure,
So
but
like,
compare that to every deck in the format, even like the mediocre ones. Eh,
yeah, like I get what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing. Truth be told, obviously, I'm a gut player myself. So a 6/3 is better than a 4/2. But 2 mana for this commander, and it will continue to have combo potential in the future, right? That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Like there could be things that have combo potential in the future.
maybe we'll get a mono white persist deck.
Yeah.
Findhorn, yeah, we'll see if you can figure anything out with this one, Findhorn, because I am not. I'm not gonna bother with that one. I'm gonna be honest. Um, all right. Next up, we have Ariel, Knight of Windgrace. This card has so much text for being like mediocre. Once again, like 4 mana's a little rough. Whenever you have to pay 3 mana to generate an extra body, or tap down your board to actually destroy things. Being instant speed is nice. I do like that.
Yeah, the instant speed is kind of what I'm getting at with this one, right? Like it's instant speed. Um, it has vigilance, right? A 4 mana 4/4. We're feeling good, right? So at its floor, it's still a beat stick. But the problem is that how long is this going to take to get online,
Yeah,
right?
it's definitely a
It's
control deck because there's no way you'll get enough time if you're not controlling the board to activate your 3 mana ability on your 4 mana commander.
yeah,
Um, but it's something. It at least has like a built-in win condition of making a board and removing blockers.
yeah. I
Since
mean,
they all have
it could get there.
vigilance, you can swing with them, and then in response to attacks, you can pop stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, probably not great.
All right.
Um,
Next
Cabal
one.
Patriarch, 6 mana mono black commander.
Okay, hang on, hang on. I used to play with this in Odyssey. Calm down. Calm down. I
Okay,
used to
just because
draft
you're a
this card.
boomer doesn't mean it's a good card.
I didn't say it was a good card. I'm just saying I used to draft this card. And in limited, it's sauce. um 6 mana. until we get Jewel Lotus, I mean, I don't know what we're doing, right? Like, if this resolves and stays into play for 2 or 3 turns, it takes over the game. The end. Good luck, right?
Uh,
I mean,
not
it
even. Like,
really?
you have to pay 3 mana and still be producing bodies. Like, this just looks like really bad Armix.
Oh.
Like, really bad Armix.
Bro, it's a
um,
5/5 for 6. At least it can beat your face in, right?
woo! Armix has partner. Um,
Yeah. All right, next one. This is I'm trying to be like
no,
open and
I'm being
happy.
honest. Like,
I'm being honest too. I used to draft this card, okay? Cut me some slack.
also, yeah, Findhorn. I do think Ariel is very cool for casual. I think it'll be very cool in that space, especially
Oh,
with like Night Tribal.
for casual, that card is bonkers.
Yeah,
Like,
but I'm extremely competitive, so I'm looking at the competitive end on all these cards.
I mean,
Uh,
yeah. Do you want me to look at competitive for the next one?
go
If
for
we're
it.
looking at competitive for the next one, we could skip it.
Yeah,
I
we have
mean,
cards that do this at common on ETB. This one being a damage trigger is something, I guess, but wow, is it slow and doesn't give white a win condition in the command zone, which it
I mean,
really needs.
we're on a time constraint. Like, why are we even? We're not even saying the name. Just get moved to the
Yep.
next one. It's
uh, next one,
oh,
whenever.
wait, hang on. I did screw up. For the record, that would be awesome at common.
Yeah, no, it'd be cool at common.
Yeah.
Um, next one, whenever one or more creatures attack your opponents, those creatures get menace. Um, I think this one's kind of interesting.
They have
Um,
4 mana 5/5s at common. This is a 4 mana 4/4 that gives.
yeah, but this gives menace to everyone's board as long as they're not attacking you. I think that's kind of interesting for a mono red aggro deck.
Shit.
It's probably no Dargo, but
Yeah, I was about to say, bro.
yeah,
This
it
is
requires people to be playing combat decks, but against the Dargo, tell people, hey, your Dargo has menace if it's not coming at me. But yeah, still meh.
Dargo has trample. What are we doing?
Yeah, we're making it even harder to block.
All right,
Next one,
next one.
Gonti. A card everyone's excited about. I'll say
Okay.
that.
Okay, you be mean first since you've been the mean one so far. I get to be mean second. Go for it. You're first. You're first.
All right, so this card is technically a win condition if you can get it to enter the battlefield infinitely. Aside from that,
You're being so nice.
it steals a card, which is kind of cool, but you still have to pay for the card. I don't know, like breaches. Um, that's my opinion.
This card is just bad, bro. Like, why would you play this? Like, this okay. This is a card that fits that section of which I hate being this guy, but I'm gonna be this guy. This is too strong for casual. This is too strong for high power. This is pathetic in competitive.
I don't think it's too strong for high power.
It's
But
too strong for high power, right? Because that's when people
no.
start playing the lightning bolts and all that kind of stuff and all those high power spells. So you're going to get a lot of good high power spells.
Sure, but you still have to find a way to get Gonti to repeatedly enter for him to actually do anything.
Yeah, you're also playing to turn 22.
In high power?
So,
No.
yeah.
No.
Armix lives the terrain of high power.
Armix lives in the terrain of no time limit.
That's high power.
That's competitive as long as you're not at a tournament.
So this will live in that zone then. This could win with no time limit, guaranteed, 100%. This card's busted with no time limit.
I don't even think it is. I just don't think the card's great. but could be
Yeah,
wrong, but I don't know.
and move on. Oh
Yeah.
man, we're being a bit mean.
I'm being mean to save us time on these 80 cards.
Yes,
Um,
I
yeah.
all right,
Goreclaw.
I like this one. I like this one. I like this one. Let me like this one. Don't be mean to this one. It's a
Why
four
do you
mana
like?
4/3, which power 4 or greater costs 2 less. That's actually pretty cool because there are other cards in the format like Croson Drover, which is a 4 mana 2/2 that also does something similar to this. So you can actually build your deck with a bunch of like big green beat sticks and kind of have a good time. I'm not saying it's competitive. I'm not saying it's not competitive. Just saying you'll have a good time. I would play this, and I like the art. Cut me some slack. How about that?
It does give trample, that is something.
Yeah.
Um, so it does have like a decent win condition. I don't think the card's awful. Um,
Oh, not playable on spell table.
g-
We skipped that. Yes.
no, yeah, Gonti
Punks.
on spell table
Yes.
is rough.
Yeah, it's miserable.
Go for the
Agreed.
through with no time left. Yeah. um,
Agreed.
yeah, I think Goreclaw's interesting. Maybe worth toying around with. Um, I was gonna say he lets you cast 4 mana Colossal Dreadmaws, but he also turns everything into Colossal Dreadmaws. So
Yeah, I mean it's pretty sweet. Like I could see this actually doing a little something.
yeah,
Um,
I can see it closing out those mid-range games pretty
oh,
efficiently. So
definitely. All right, I gotta hear your next one. Let me know what you think
Gorex.
about this one.
When I saw people talking about Gorex, I thought they were talking about like Ghost Tormod Tortured Existence. And then I realized that this was a card.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. Oh
so
my
let's read this
gosh.
card for the first time. Additional cost, exile creatures from yard. So Dargo text, but from yard. 4/4 death touch. Attacks or dies. Choose a card at random exiled and put it into its owner's hand. Um, it's a card. It is very slow. Probably not very good. Um, but it's cool, I guess.
I I think it's pretty good. Um,
Really?
so you'll be able to choose a card at random, which that's why I don't like it. I don't like anything that gives me random. Anything that goes random, I will never ever like because I like consistency. But the fact that this gives me like pseudo card advantage on the cards that I exile, like, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, like that's fine. But this looks like Ghost Tormod that's even slower and doesn't have blue. Um, that's
So
my
I
take on it.
so I'm kind of going overall. It sounds like, well, I guess you already said it too. You're purely in the competitive zone. I'm kind of speaking overall. So yeah, I mean, in the competitive zone, I don't think this is going to do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it,
Fitborn. Complicated mono black card advantage.
yeah, it could be like it could beat a Dargo, right? That's at least okay. But closing out a game is going to struggle. But that's what we already have already, right? So this could continue to do what it's already doing.
Yeah, like I think Passageway Seer is a better pseudo card advantage engine for just mono black personally. But yeah, let's move on to the next mono black commander. I don't know how to pronounce this. Isareth, something like that. Um, I played this card in casual commander a little bit because it was funny, and then I cut it. Um, so if that says anything, I don't, I don't think it's great.
I
Um,
mean, I could tell you this: if a roomie can't have a tap ability one time, this will never either. Because this is exactly a roomie mono black.
well, it's not making 3 copies of Gary. It's making a
Well,
single
you're
Gary.
Yeah, but you're gonna keep getting a Gary.
But
It's
you're
gonna
not,
die.
because it exiles whenever she brings it back and it
Oh,
dies. Like, this is
oh, yeah.
not a roomie at all.
Yeah. It's oh, that's sad. All right, let's move on. That
Yep.
answered that question. Oh, I'm feeling sad.
Judith, we got a new jury that instead of making a big commander goes wide, and
Okay,
yeah,
this is good. This is good, right? Like out of everything we've seen so far, I think this has legs. This has a lot of legs.
it's
Come on. Okay, you
okay.
could build Goblin Tribal. You could build like some sort of like pump enabled tribal-ish deck, zombies, goblins, something along the higher end of the spectrum. This would be great because like
Yeah,
goblins sack effects, zombies sack effects, and this is going to just shoot people to death. This
yeah,
is pretty
it's
good.
just the non-token clause is annoying. Um, I think this
Yeah,
is just a more aggressive Mayhem Devil.
I would
Um,
say more aggressive Garna.
I would say more aggressive Mayhem Devil. Um, they're both creatures that ping whenever you sacrifice things. Mayhem Devil gets to ping off of literally anything and anyone sacking things, which I
Hmm.
think is probably stronger than the board pump. But I could be wrong on that. The card's good.
I, I I don't really like the comparison to Mayhem Devil. I think Mayhem Devil is a little has a little more sack potential for it, but like this is a little bit. Ugh, I don't. I gotta get my words right. A little not as terrifying. So you get the board pump, which actually could accidentally, if you're attacking with more than two creatures, will actually give you more damage in the long run.
Yeah, I think
So
it's. I think the text is similar to Mayhem Devil. I'll say that. But yeah. Moving on. Kaho. I don't know how
all
to
right.
pronounce this one either.
This card I used to play in high school. Yes, I'm old. This is wow. Like, yeah, this is a card that I used to have back in the day with because Greg Staples is one of my favorite artists for the record. Um, it's an ETB trigger. So that's actually pretty bonkers. Step one. And it
Okay.
doesn't. So hang on, hang on. Okay. So yeah. I know. Pause for dramatic effect, right? This card doesn't specify when you exile the card. So you could blink this and just exile, exile, exile. And then you'll be able to cast those cards at a later point in time. So people
That
will
is
have to
not true.
search your library for 3 cards, exile them, shuffle. You may cast a spell with mana cost value X from among cards exiled with KO. It doesn't tell you when you exiled them with your commander.
How is Jaleva worded?
So it doesn't specify when the cards were exiled. It just had to be exiled
Nope.
with your commander.
Jaleva says the same thing, and I know Jaleva is restricted, so I'm pretty sure this is restricted too.
Is it? I did not think that card worked like this.
I was gonna say, I think you're thinking this card works a way that it does not work.
I mean, I haven't played this card in like 20 years. Wait, how old am I? 15
Let's see
years?
if I can find the ruling.
Sad face.
Yeah, that
Dun dun
doesn't
dun.
say anything. Let's check Jaleva. If Jaleva leaves the battlefield, the exiled cards will remain exiled indefinitely. It's not associated. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this works the same, and it does not get to cast the cards if you flicker it. So it is not quite what you think it is.
Well, that just
You
makes me
cannot
sad.
get Teferi's Time Twist and two good cards and
Mm,
do that, unfortunately.
well, that makes me sad. So, yeah.
Yeah, if it worked that way, I think this would be interesting, but I don't think it works that way. So I don't think this is very interesting.
So if it doesn't work that way, this card's just poo.
Yeah, like
Like,
you get a combo piece and then they kill it before you get to
do
untap because
anything?
it still has to tap, and then you just lose access to your combo pieces. Seems pretty
Yep.
rough.
Yeah. Makes me sad.
Yeah.
Well, next one.
Next one
Sad
is a
face.
cool, a very cool casual commander. I don't know if it's particularly competitive. Hey
Oh,
Alex, what's up?
Alex, what's up, my bro?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
this one is actually pretty sweet. Kazul.
I
Okay.
mean, kind of.
That's pretty sweet.
It's another deck that relies on your opponents playing combat decks, which I don't like.
Well, okay, hang on. It relies on your opponents attacking you. They don't have to be a combat deck
Sure,
to
but if they're
attack you.
not playing a combat deck, if combat is not their win condition, they just don't attack you.
Sure, that's so. Here's the thing: if we're at a table with name any decks, doesn't matter.
Sure, Tatiova,
And
Tatiova, Gretchen.
sure, double. Sure, Tatiova goes, "Hey, let me attack you. Make a 3/3 so you can send your 3/3 over at them." I'll be like, "Okay, I'll take one hit,
Yeah,
and then I'll
I
plow
don't know
through you
about
with
that one.
tokens." I mean,
I don't think they're gonna go out of their way to do that. I think they're just gonna play their game and win, and you're gonna sit there and cry and be the mono red deck.
sure, this is a 5 mana 5/4. This is big, right? It's not
It's
small by
fine.
any means. But yes, I get it. I get it. I do think this has legs the more and more cards that are being printed, especially with Sulfurous Blast and a few of those other new ones. So
I think this gets worse over time because we get better combo. We'll see. We'll see if we get
yeah.
some good aggressive cards printed that push the meta fully into aggro, and then this card's interesting.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think in a
Speaking of
combo meta,
aggro,
meh.
let's move to the next one.
Yeah, a big win for mono white here with Kimba.
And I love the art too, by the way.
Yeah, the art's very cool. But this is the kind of thing that I think mono white needs, just like good win conditions in the command zone. I
Yeah,
think
this card's nuts.
yeah, this card's pretty crazy. Um, assuming you can survive a turn cycle with it, is the problem.
I mean, it's a
Especially,
2/4. It survives Bolt, right? It
yeah,
survives
it's
all
not
the other
dying to
sweepers.
damage
Yeah.
removal, but it still dies to all blue and all black removal, um, which is very problematic.
Well, so I did an experiment with a friend of mine, and we made a build with this card specifically. And I think the build was pretty genius. So, unlike other variants I've seen, his build was dedicated to equipment, irrelevant of what they did. Literally irrelevant what the equipments did. And all equipments had to be like equipped for one, right? So even if they killed this, you were just like, okay, put it back into play for 5 mana. As many equipment as I could put on this card as possible, I'm going to put on this card, right? And
Yeah, I mean, I
went
think
from
that's what
there.
you have to do with this list.
Well, no, there are different variants, and the other variants are not kind of
Yeah, I don't think you
posed to do
care if
that.
the equipment's good. I think you care if it has a cheap equip cost because yeah, I don't see this not being a target once you have like more than two equipment on it. Um,
Yeah,
Not to mention the cats are all still 2 power and toughness, so they do all die to board wipes, which is annoying. But I think it's an interesting card, and I'd like to see people look into it potentially. And yeah, you do get all the white protection effects still, so
yeah.
it's
I
something.
mean, it does have the similarity to get right.
We got some
Like,
believers in chat.
what do we got? Oh, I like soft white gut. Oh my gosh, skunks. Jesus.
Yeah.
I miss Finhorn here. What is Finhorn saying? Gut with a sore back. Oh my gosh. It gets phased out, all the equipment
Okay.
goes.
How
Oh
many
my
decks are
gosh.
phasing creatures out? Like,
Yeah.
Gretchen phases this out for a turn if it draws Sapphire Charm, and other decks with Sapphire Charm do.
Yeah.
And Oubliette, I guess, like you die to Oubliette.
I mean, but who
um,
plays Oubliette anymore,
uh,
right?
Black decks,
Like,
but you know,
few far in between.
you're also in white, so you can play
Blow it up
protection
easily.
and yeah, play all the disenchants and all that. So, but yeah, it is still something. But yeah, let's move on to the next mono white deck. Put
Okay.
vanishing on it in a game. That's just mean.
That is just mean. Like, what are you doing?
All right, Lorsheel. We got another mono white deck.
Okay.
Um,
This card's good, right? Like,
yeah.
this card's good. Come on.
Let's
It's
see.
a 3-mana 2/4.
All combat damage that would be dealt to it. Okay, so it's an artifact deck in mono white. One or more artifact creatures, so it draws a card once per turn, and it lets you attack. It's fine.
It's a card that gets better with time.
Why not?
How about that?
Liara is my argument, but it's still cool.
This is a 2/4. Liara is just dies to everything.
Yeah, sure, but she also draws way more cards and gets an extra color. So I don't know if that's too relevant.
I mean, 3-mana 2/4.
It has better text.
I like this card. I think this is pretty sweet.
I think it's fine. I don't think it's super competitive. I think Liara is better, and Liara is not super great either. So,
all right, this next one is making me sad right now, right? Because this next one is like as competitive gets, and I don't think it's good.
No, this thing's crazy.
Sure, it has to resolve.
Yeah,
that's the point. It has to resolve. So
okay.
Melik.
So are you saying Tatiova has just never been good because it has to resolve? Like
5 compared to 6 is a whole different. This is a whole different spectrum on 6 mana.
Yeah, but you get Pyroblast and Reb in addition to blue stuff.
So you need 7 mana.
Yeah.
It's
a control deck. This is a deck that literally wins the game with Mystic Sanctuary. Like,
I mean,
like Tatiova.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. 6 mana.
Yeah.
6 mana. And it loses to Pyroblast too. The irony. Blast
so
it.
Does Tatiova. Like once again.
But that's my point. Like it loses to like those same cards. Like it's just
I still think Tatiova is good. I still think this is good.
This wouldn't be on a tier list if I made one. How about that?
Well, it's also been revealed for 2 days, so literally no one has played it. I know Bobby has been brewing it. I think it's good.
This card's insane. The card itself is insane. 6 mana.
Yeah, it's rough, but
6 mana.
I think it's good.
Yes.
I don't think it's breaking the meta, but I think it's good.
Agreed.
Molimo got downshifted. This card is just a 7 mana beater. It's bad. Next card.
Yep. I used to play that in standard too. Makes me sad. I got teardrops crying.
You're right. Drink that water.
Okay.
Namada.
I used to play this also.
I like Sapperling. I think that's cool, but we have Slimefoot.
Okay, hang on. The one thing this card does for the format is it gives a creature, just like Prava, the ability to make indefinite creatures. The end. Okay, next.
Yeah, like we have Slimefoot.
It's John Avon art. This card's sauce. All right, how about that? The art's bonkers.
Yeah.
Next.
Um, I don't even know how to pronounce this one either. Ovia. I'm gonna try for you guys so you can make fun of me later.
What's up,
Ovia
Mario?
Pashiri. That's
Was
my
this an
guess.
Ovia Pashiri Sage Life Crafter?
Um,
Pashir. Yeah, Pashiri.
yeah,
Yeah.
so my question is why? Anyways, next one.
Yeah. It sucks. I agree. All right.
It's just eh. Padim, the console of innovation. Uh
Uh, I can tell you what this deck's good at: stopping people from winning. I can tell
um
you what this deck is bad at: winning.
yeah, I mean, if we get okay, so what this deck does, this is this is my theory. We get to play the Ashnod's Altar combo with
Okay.
protection from the command zone.
Oh
Let's
my
go,
gosh.
guys.
Get out of
We
here.
made it viable,
I
completely uninteractable.
I agree, Mauricio. I agree that 5 mana activated ability is actually pretty busted.
I
We
don't
did
think
skip
it's
it.
busted. It's
And
just a big creature. It doesn't have any evasion.
sure,
It,
it could eventually take the game over. There are populates.
it's.
There's other stuff,
I
but yeah,
don't
yeah.
think it's busted. I think it's fine.
Okay, so then we'll move to Padim. I don't think it's
Okay,
busted. I think
but
it's
for real
fine.
though,
So now
like it's not
next.
busted, but it is blue, which means you have Drift of Phantasms.
Yeah,
Um,
we said it already. It's
so yeah,
slow as dirt. Move on.
Ashnod's Altar combo, bro. We're getting
Slow
there.
as dirt.
It's got a
Move on.
combo. But yeah, let's move on. Portal Mage. ETB, reselect where things are attacking. I guess it's a flicker deck that can do stuff against aggro. Kind of interesting, I guess.
Yeah, the flash is actually pretty sweet. Like being able to flash this in is okay. Flash makes things just better for me, but this suffers the same thing as Padim, right? Just okay, cool. Switch things around. How am I winning the game? Like
Flicker.
if
This is a flicker deck. You're playing
sure, if
flicker combo.
everyone's answer is flicker combo, sure. The end. I'm
What else
already
are you
playing
supposed to
cards to
do?
beat
It
that.
has an ETB to go against to give you tech against aggro. It's a flicker deck. Boom,
Yeah,
done.
just like every other deck. So
Yeah.
we already have this. Next.
Yeah, it's just a question of if that ability is worth giving up Scholar of the Ages in the command zone or Abdel in the command zone, which it
Oh
probably
yeah.
isn't. So yeah, next up, Priest of the Blood Rite. ETB make a 5/5 flyer. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 2 life. 5 mana for a 5/5 flyer and a little boy that hurts you. This sucks. This is a bad card. This is completely not viable. That's my opinion.
Oh my god. Jesus. This man is as mean as it could
Not
get.
only that,
Completely not
but
viable.
it's a token that is the big thing. So even
Uh,
if you like grave flicker this thing, echoing truth. Cool story, bro. Good game. Yeah, no, this is bad.
all right, Rockamar. Rockamar, 4 mana 2/2. Haste. Poops a 3/1 red elemental creature token. I'm gonna use puzzles logic. Daisu Electrickery. The whole army and its a tap ability and its 4 mana. And they all die to cannonade. They all die to breath weapon. And it's mono red.
Yeah.
Sick and casual. Sick and
Yeah.
casual. Sick and casual. I would play this in
Uh,
casual. But yes,
yeah,
makes me
five.
sad.
Well, no, it's a 5 mana 5/3 if you want to put it that way. But
Sure, I'll
you
put my
know,
Llanowar Elf in front of
um
a 3/1.
yeah, like it's yeah,
Like,
this is a limited card. This is not a commander.
yeah. All right, next one.
Rampaging Brontodon. What if we already said about 7 mana beat sticks? This card's bad. Next. Um,
Jesus. Yeah, next. Yeah.
See, Dargo's a little different because he's not actually 7 mana. This thing
Yeah.
is 7 mana, and you are in green. You know, I'll give you that.
For
But
each,
yeah.
sure, it's huge. It'll one shot a player.
Yeah, it'll probably one shot someone if you can untap with it and connect with it and it
Yeah.
doesn't die.
Or bounce. Or
Or
every
anything.
literally anything.
Um, and you're in green, so you don't
Yeah.
have as many ways to protect it as if you were in white or blue.
Oh, you gotta tap out to play it. It's 7 mana.
Well, yeah.
So
Rishkar.
yeah.
Mm,
Next.
yeah, it's fine. I don't think it's great.
I think it's great in EDH.
In the
I think
99.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane in there. So yeah. Next.
I would not call that red card Popper Krenko. No, Franklin. No.
Right, well, Popper
Um,
Cranko. Oh my gosh, what are we doing with that statement?
Kadira is Popper Krenko.
Yeah.
Rorix, Bladewing.
Okay,
6 mana
okay,
beat
hang on.
stick. This card's bad. Next.
I love Rorix. Okay, I used to win games in the day. In the day. I don't know why he has 4 wings in this art though.
Bro,
So
I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know this character.
he's
I don't
from
know who this
Onslaught.
is.
Yeah, he's from Onslaught. OG
The
Onslaught.
Graftland
Yeah,
Pauper Legal. No, I don't think so.
the Graftland.
There's a land with Graft 1.
No, no, that's an uncommon.
Yeah, I don't think it's legal. Let's see.
All right,
Graft
next.
land.
What do we got? What do we got?
Yeah, it's an uncommon. Not
All right.
legal.
The next one.
Skyline.
Okay. I want this to be good. Okay.
I think
I'm
this
not saying
card's
it's good.
cool.
I would love to play this in casual. Like, I have 2 cards in the set I want to play in casual. This and another card we're going to get to soon. The problem is that this is just 400 times better than my other card that I want to play. And I think I die first if I play this in casual. Because if this lives for like 2 turns, do I not just like win the game?
It's a cool card. But yeah, not competitive. 7 mana gives you the Monarch, I guess, but then it still has to survive a turn cycle to start getting value. Kind of cool as an ender, I guess, but
Yeah.
yeah, if you can make it work, Mario, go for it. But yeah, I don't think it's great. Squee, next up.
Make it work, Mario. Make it work.
We have
Just skip Squee. Squee's one of my favorite cards. I don't want to
Yeah,
talk
like-
negatively about Squee. So just skip Squee. Let's move on. Just skip
mono
Squee.
red discard. You have infinite fodder. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, there you go. Good. That positivity. Good. Next.
I like Squee a lot too. You can defend the Monarch with your giant dragon, but then you're not swinging with your giant dragon. What's your win condition?
Oh, well, you eventually make $1 million.
Yeah,
a billion,
eventually.
yeah.
After you cast your 7 mana commander and wait 5 turns with it not getting interacted with, maybe you can win the game. Yeah. Sabira, this is a card that I thought was an uncommon already, I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of cool, I guess. Like, maybe it does something with the 1 mana creatures that have like pseudo prowess and get like +2 or +3 whenever you cast instants and sorceries.
How about this one? Do you know
but-
where I could see this card being insane?
Limited.
If your opponents are playing the initiative or monarch, and you're like, ha ha ha, I will always take it away from you forever. Good luck. If they're not, then you're kind of like, all right.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool, but it has card draw. You know.
It does. You have to discard though.
Yeah,
There's a
it gives
caveat.
you a wheel. kind of.
So,
But yeah,
which one card? It's
no
not a one.
blasphemy against Rorix. It's not one card. It says whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, so it
Oh,
can draw
a
you up.
creature.
Well, to
Okay.
a player, so it can draw you 3 cards.
Okay. For your hand. Okay.
Yeah.
So, words of wisdom from Puzzle. Amber's better. Let's move on.
Yeah. Yeah. This is bad Amber. Sirach. Um, this card only has text if your board has 8 power or greater. Otherwise, you're playing a 4-mana 5/4.
All
Um,
right.
and
So,
if you
Torbrax.
have power, he gives you board
Torbrax.
haste. Yeah, it's bad. Tabarax. Okay. Cleric tribal in mono black.
I agree, Finhorn. Rorix is one of my favorite characters from that era. So
Ninja supporting Grixis. What are we talking about? Are you talking about Sabira in like EDH? Yeah, I guess.
oh
Um,
yeah.
Tabarax is cleric tribal in mono black. I don't think we have that many clerics
Well, we have a
in mono
shitload.
black
No,
that
okay,
are
no.
playable.
We do. We do.
That
So
are playable.
Shadowborn Apostle is a
That are
cleric.
playable.
Shadowborn
That are
Apostle.
playable.
Are we gonna be on repeat? Shadowborn Apostle.
Bro, what demon? There's like 4 demons in our format in
Yeah,
mono
one
black,
was like
and none of them are
recently
good.
printed. Whoa, calm down. One is like 2 mana and a demon. It's from Brothers War.
Whoa, that's pretty neat. Um,
This has lifelink, bro. It's got
wow.
lifelink. We
Um,
haven't been nice to one card yet.
yes,
Come
we
on.
have. We were nice to Melik.
No, you were nice to Malik. We have not been nice to Malik.
Well, most of these commanders are not super competitive. We haven't gotten to the best one yet. Um, but
Oh, there's a best
yeah,
one?
there's a best
Okay.
one.
There are some pretty good clerics.
There's
There
some
really are.
okay ones, but yeah, I don't think this deck's great.
All right.
Moving on.
Next.
We got Tygam. I think this deck is fine. I think it's I'm trying to brew this deck as potentially a way to break one of the commons that got downshifted, which we'll talk about. I don't think it'll break the card, but I want to see if it can, you know. It gives you good card selection and removal in the command zone, but yeah, it's 5 mana. It's fine. Once again.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting option for Demir, but yeah.
Meh. That's it for me.
Moving on to, in my opinion, probably the best commander of this set, Teshar. This downshift is insane. The text on this card is absurd.
This is yes. This is bonkers.
I've been working on a list for the last couple days. If anyone wants to see it, there you go. That's the whole list. But yeah, I think the deck is cool.
Deck's insane.
I'm not sure how competitive it is yet because it's so convoluted and has so many combo lines, and we're still trying to figure out what the best combo lines are. But notably, so far, this deck can win at instant speed through multiple lines and can win fast, but more likely it's going to be trying to win second. Problems are you're playing mono white, and you really need your commander to be in play for your value engine to exist. And it's difficult to find the sack outlet because we only have 6. 7 if you count Heliod's Pilgrim Tutoring for one of them. But yeah.
I think it's good. I think this is arguably one of the best cards downshifted in the set for competitive play.
Yeah, no, this card's insane. But yeah. Praise for one card. And moving on to some more not great cards. Thrix.
All right,
This is
next.
mono blue Stompy.
Yeah. Okay, next. Like, what are you doing, bro? I'd rather play a 7-mana 7/7 than at least kill my opponent with one swing. That I don't even know what that
Tromocratus.
is.
This is a 7 mana 8/8 that is difficult to interact with. I guess it has hexproof
I
until it's
mean,
trying to actually do something.
I think this card's actually hilarious. I mean, if you want to play like one of the most annoying cards ever, from Monk Credis, like how can we pronounce this? Can't be blocked unless all creatures defending player controls block it.
Yeah, so it's a two
That's
shot.
like murders their entire field. It'll die maybe, and then you guys reset and go again. It's like a weird 7-mana wrath almost. Like it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's a 7 mana 8/8 with hexproof, and then you can try to like put Shroud on it permanently while it has hexproof, so that they can't interact when it's attacking either.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still a 7 mana mono blue commander that
Yep.
has to go to combat, which is rough. Um,
Yep. Agreed.
moving on.
Okay. Well, this is my next one. This is my next one.
Birdaloth.
No, it's a Verloth. It's a Verloth. The D is silent. Verloth the
There's a
ancient.
D.
I know the D is silent.
That's
Verloth the
dumb.
ancient. Yeah,
Continue.
for D. Yeah, I'm just shit talking here. For the record, fuck love this card. I played this in Invasion as well. This is one of my favorite cards. I don't care that it sucks. I'm gonna play this, and this is my other casual card. Love it. It's not that good. The end. Next one. Still love this card.
You call this downshift? Are you talking about the Tromocratus or the Verdaloth Vendorn? Snuff out
Oh,
before
Finhorn is
blockers.
no, Finhorn is calling
Or Teshar, I guess.
Teshar. Yeah. Teshar.
Yeah, maybe Finhorn's like lagging way behind. Um, yeah, you can snuff out before declaring blockers. That's why I'm saying you need to like give this thing protection while it has hexproof before you attack.
Yep.
But yeah, Verdaloth is definitely mana hungry. Kicker X just tells you, hey, this commander is going to be cast for tapping out every single time I cast.
Yep.
And yeah,
yeah.
it's
loses to Daze, which is said to be not a good card, but you know.
Moving on to Yahenni. I think this card's kind of interesting actually, just because it's a free sack outlet. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it is a big boy if you get a Pestilence or a Crypt Rats out and wipe the board. Or we do have a couple more board wipes in the format.
I think this card I think this card is pretty sauce, honestly.
Yeah, it actually gives a valid win condition to the control archetype for mono black, which is nice, and it is a sack outlet that is also protection. So I think this card's not bad.
Yep. Pestilence, being able to wrath the field and keep this alive, you could one-shot somebody with this card. So, I mean, this card's good. I think this is by far one of the best cards in the set as well. So,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing about Yahenni is the only thing you have to really protect it against is bounce, because it gives itself indestructible.
Yeah, but it has haste, right?
Yeah,
and it's only 3 mana. So like it comes out running. This card is good. This card is I would play this over Crypt Rats if I had a you tell me to play one of them in command zone, I'm playing this over Crypt Rats all day.
Yeah. Next up is Eudora. This card looks absurd. But I don't think it's that good, funnily enough.
I don't think it's that good because we don't have the tutors to go get like Green Ranger or like any of those other creatures. You know what I mean? Like we can't actively go get what we have one creature.
An elf tutor.
one.
And it's a death trigger. But we don't really have great morphs either, unfortunately. But it would be cool if we got good morphs.
Okay, so it is ramp, which is weird. So like what I find this card to be is wrath protection, right? So if you're like beating someone down and all your like dorks are in play and you play this, you're like, I gotta sweep you. They sweep you. You're like, oh, I have a bunch of 2/2s now. You could beat them to death. That's not horrible.
Do you think this makes tutus?
I thought it did.
This flips your creatures and makes them into forests.
Oh, you're right.
We don't have
Never
the
mind.
card that turns all
I
your forests into tutus or one
Yeah,
ones.
I read the card wrong. This is not the card I thought it was. Well, I'm wrong.
No, this is
Next.
ramp. It turns them into
Yeah.
lands. So
Yeah.
it pays for its commander tax by turning your creatures into lands.
Yep. Next.
Yeah, this is for
Yeah.
playing Mul whatever that one card is. Molivo or whatever. This is
Yeah,
for draft.
Multani. Oh,
Multa.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Zahid. I thought this was an uncommon already too. It's 4 mana, 5/6 flyer. Next. That's the last one. Okay, so we have a couple cool commanders in this set for competitive.
You said it a couple.
Yep.
Oh man.
Maybe 3 or 4 if Tygam or Melik are decent.
I think Melik just like
But yeah,
shuts down Tygam completely.
we'll see.
So
We will see. We could be wrong. You never know. Not
agreed.
that I'm known for being wrong, you know. I'm known for always being right, personally. But
Dun dun dun.
let's go on to the comments.
Yes.
41 commons being downshifted this set.
All right, send me that link.
I already sent it to you.
Got it. All right, the first one. All that glitters. Card's nuts. 60 card popper. Right.
I think it's fine here. I think there are some decks that can use it, mostly mono white Voltron decks, but you know, it's fine. It's a good card objectively, but like,
Oh yeah, for sure,
yeah.
100%. Card's insane.
We'll see if it sees any actual competitive play. It just really needs a deck that can use it realistically.
Yeah, agreed.
Next card. Do we have to go over this card?
I mean, it's a second Mortician Beetle.
Yeah.
So, like, having more of these actually makes them better. Having just Mortician Beetle is not good.
It's just another big body that I mean, I guess his abilities.
Yeah, it can make something not. Yeah, it can make something not block. Like this card isn't the worst.
But yeah, it's. I don't see it seeing much play personally.
Yeah, I'm about it. I like it.
Ethereal armor. Yeah, like getting more and more copies of these will mean that there will probably be a deck that gets to play all of them at some point. But
yeah, agreed.
I don't think we have that deck yet. Aside from, I guess, Satyr Enchanter. I mean, this card's crazy in Satyr Enchanter. But yeah. Moving on, we got a Brass Knuckles. This is probably one of the coolest pieces of equipment we got. This is the first common equipment that can give double strike. So there's that. Especially in decks like Akiri, where you're suiting up multiple creatures and you don't have to just equip both Brass Knuckles to one creature to give it double strike, and you can give multiple creatures double strike. Pretty cool.
Yeah, giving your 1/1 double strike is always good.
Pretty good for Arden. You know, since just auto equips everything. But yeah, cool for Voltron decks and equipment decks.
Not a fan, as weird as that sounds. I think 4 mana is so much. And then if you cast it on curve, your opponent's going to be like, you want to double strike me? No. So it's kind of how I see it. But
yeah, I think it's meh, but it's interesting at least. Kind of funny in a Dargo deck.
If you get to 4 mana,
Put this
yeah.
in Dargo Kedis. Just
Have
cast it
fun.
and either use both as fodder and just make your mana back, or next turn use it as a
Yep.
ritual, or give Dargo a double strike.
All right.
Um,
This next card's sauce,
yeah,
right?
no, this card's actually kind of crazy a little
Yeah,
bit.
this card's sauce. This is the first thing we've ever had for the format that lets us put our commanders from any zone back to our. Let me actually hang on. It's not
From the
any zone.
command zone
Yeah. Well, command zone and
and from your
graveyard.
graveyard, yeah, not from
Yeah,
exile. So you can't leave it under an O-ring and get it to hand.
correct.
But
But excluding that, like this is great. Like
so
in yeah, way like what in competitive play, I don't think you might not have time to do this
yeah,
unless you have a commander that's constantly getting murdered, right? Like an Armix. Like this may give Armix a little bit of room to grow, maybe. Maybe.
cast Dargo Burnt Offering, cast Dargo Equip Brass Knuckles. Awesome combo. 3 card give Dargo double
Double
strike
strike.
combo. Um, yeah. So the thing about Campfire, I played this card in Teshar, the game that I played him, and I think I dropped it out on turn 1, and then just like the life gain on this card was actually really decent.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Like
It's like weird.
I gained like 12 life, maybe 14, and there was an Akiri at the table, so like I just wasn't ever, and combined with the wall that Teshar puts up, like the 2 life is relevant because you have so many blockers. And yeah, like Teshar is a commander I expect to die a lot, probably.
Yeah.
So putting him back in hand is nice, and also reshuffling your yard is relevant for Teshar specifically.
Yeah.
So like, and yeah, that can also be relevant text. So it has a lot of minorly relevant text that if your deck cares about multiple of them, like, card's good.
Yep. I agree, Alex. Like 2 life a turn is actually quite a bit. And Mario, yeah, like I would run this in a bunch of like normal EDH decks as well. Like this is just seems like insane.
Yeah. Arian Grub next up. It's a big body that mills on ETB. Obviously you're probably going to be playing this for the mill.
It's weird. Not a fan.
I think
It
it's
has
probably
its
okay in Sir Conrad.
yeah, it's okay in a couple decks. But it's very niche
Yeah.
in regards to everything.
Yeah. Mill 4 is good, but it's
Yep.
4 mana.
All right, next 15-15.
All right, let's skip it. This is 4
You said
mana.
it was the best card.
Or sorry, 5 mana, 5/5 Trampler. That's what this
You said
is.
15. You said it's a 15-15. You said this was the best card
Yeah,
in the
let's
set.
pretend like this is ever gonna be 15/15. I guess in Tatiova it could be a 15/15.
Bro, this is an Insta and Gretchen. Insta
This
Gretchen
card's
hit.
awful. Don't play this card, guys. Prolic
All right.
Infestation.
Meh.
Good for the graveyard decks, especially if they're trying to play one of the cards that is coming up.
Yeah. It's got its scenarios as well. So
Golgari, Tortured Existence, Graveyard Matter deck, maybe.
Yep. Agreed.
So yeah, maybe good. Depends on if it finds a deck that cares about it.
Yep.
Putting it in Tatiova to test. Please do. Just give your alternate win conditions are Crash of Rhino Beetles and hard casting Shoreline Ranger.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we got Cryptic Serpent getting downshifted after whatever the other one's name is.
All right. I don't play.
Over.
Yeah, I don't play Zombie Fish. I'm not playing Gurmag, right? I'm not playing this. So
yeah.
Next.
Like, I mean, I guess we do have this and the Talarian Terror
Ooh.
and
Words of wisdom from Puzzle.
and the the
So
fish.
nah, dude, my buddy Puzzle literally says, "That's cute. You have a bunch of big beat sticks. I just comboed. You lost the
This
game."
is
Okay,
true. But
good.
in the words of my man Gator, the more of these big stupid vanillas we have, the better they are. Um
Correct. That is true. They are.
But yeah, this
But
is probably good in 60 card popper, like chat's saying. Um,
oh yeah, this is insane in 60 card
like you
for
get
sure.
four Talarian Terror, four Cryptic Serpent in like
Yeah, beat
mono,
face.
and
Hell yeah.
the 4 mana card that makes an XX for instants and sorceries in yard or exile. Like
Yeah, this card's bonkers like that.
60 card is yeah,
In love.
yikes. But
Yeah,
here,
this is that's a Tarmogoyf in a Delver deck, right?
yeah,
Like that card's insane.
here, meh.
Yeah,
Um,
agreed. All right,
Next up,
Cyclops Electromancer. 5 mana. I'm sorry. Next, like 5 mana.
Serpentine Curve. Yeah, that's the card, Alex. Um, 5 mana beat stick that has ETB deal damage. Yeah.
It's a 2, bro. It's a 2, but it's just, no.
Yeah, beat stick is a strong word. And it also can't hit face, so it's not a win condition for Flicker.
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
next.
Oh, here's the edict you were talking about. Yeah, we get another flesh bag. Yay.
Yeah, this card is sick. 3 mana, 3/1. It's a cleric and it's a human. These are relevant creature types for the record. But yeah,
It'll be interesting if they ever decide to allow planeswalkers in the command zone. But aside from that, yeah, this is just another flesh bag with more creature types.
yeah, this is a good card. Like the end, this is a good card.
Yeah, just the graveyard for Cyclops. It doesn't count exile.
Yep.
But yeah, next up is Dread Return, a card that I've been hinting at a lot.
Yes.
I think this is the card that could potentially make Tygam viable if it finds a way to just consistently mill it, just to have another way to get your Paragon Drake out of the yard if you mill it. This card's insane.
Yeah, this card is insane. Mario, yes, your dog, the demon. Demon's Disciple, that card's bonkers. But Dread Return with Demon's Disciple, like with all these sack fodder creatures we got, this card's busted. Like they just decided to not give us Zombify and take us to the end goal and hit us with Dread Return. Like, okay.
Yeah, not to mention
what?
This card is perfectly castable from your hand. Like, you don't have to flash this back. You can cast it and flash it back.
Yeah, the same turn. Like, this card is insane.
Yeah, like Mono Black Abdel. Sure. Or not Mono Black. Orzhov Abdel. Like,
yeah,
I'll cast it and get back. I don't know what you're getting back. But, get something back. Sack 3 tokens. Get another creature back. Like, that's crazy.
There's a lot of things you can do.
I'm sure there's something you can get back in that deck. I don't know what, but
well, they added another card that we're going to talk about here in a moment, which is the card that you could bring back. So
yeah, alrighty. Well, next up we have a 3 mana board wipe for black. They got there.
This card's good. This card's good. In the end,
it's just like the 2 mana. It's just like the 3 mana board wipes we have in red. Unfortunately, this is sorcery speed, which kind of sucks, but it does scry one, and it does get around indestructible if that matters because of a Kiri or something.
Yeah, card's good. I mean, this card is just good. Scry 1, 3 mana, -2. It's going to kill the most relevant things in the format.
Yeah, like, hard to say it's bad. Yeah. Good card. Dwarven Hammer. I actually think this is kind of interesting equipment. +3 and trample is not bad, especially for like Arden decks where you don't have to pay the equip cost. But aside from that, and decks that really need the trample, meh. Oh yeah, Findhorn. Drown in Sorrow does get around protection effects from white. You can't
Yeah.
protect it from damage. Um,
Yep. Excluding the new one, whatever the new one is, Angelic Intervention, I believe, is the name. Excluding that one.
oh, because that one gives a counter. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But
So
it gets around all the
excluding that one.
protection effects. Yeah,
Yeah.
guaranteed to wipe Guts board pretty much for sure. You might have to
Yep.
start playing Angelic Intervention just because of this card, honestly. In
Well,
Gut.
gut decks already played that, like because it gives protection from
Did
artifacts as
you?
well.
Because I
Yeah.
remember telling you to play, and you were like, "Nah, 2 mana's too much," and I was like, "You should play it."
No, no, no. It's
Hey,
been in there
Lane.
forever, forever.
Yeah, it's just a set review. You can lurk. Good to have you here. Um, Next up, Filigree Attendant. Um, I think people used to play this as a commander at one point.
Yeah.
um, and then we got
Everything else.
a better version. I think we got
Everything
like a
else.
direct upgrade that just had
Yep.
an extra color. I don't even remember what that card is because no one plays that either. But
I know what you're talking about.
I think we got an Azorius version of this card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beat stick in blue for artifacts. So if you're playing Padim, you know.
So so this next one is actually pretty interesting.
Oh, you think
Um
so?
Firemind Vessel. So I don't know which side of the spectrum to be on with this card. So it comes into play tapped, which kills me inside, but it actually makes 2 mana of any color, which, well, actually of different colors.
Yeah,
So
actually kind of annoying.
yeah, so it's weird, but it at least makes colored mana where all the others we had in the format only made colorless.
Right.
So this is the first of its kind to produce a color and or colors. So it's kind of strange.
I think it's interesting maybe for like helping out with dramatic reversal lines and Scholar, but the fact that it has to be two different colors is annoying for that.
Yeah, but it comes into play tapped, so that like
And yeah, that
if
too.
you lose one turn against an aggro deck, you're dead,
Yeah.
right? So that's what
Um,
throws me away from this card.
yeah, it's not great. I actually like Thran Dynamo more than this.
Oh, I agree.
Franklin. But
Yeah, three colorless. I'm in.
yeah, and untapped. Or no, that one's not untapped, is it? Um, but yeah,
I thought Thrain Dynamo was.
or is it? I don't
The four,
remember.
yeah, the 4 mana adds 3 colorless.
Yeah, it's untapped. So it's
Unless you're talking about
realistically.
the 3 mana one that comes into play tapped.
No, I think Thran Dynamo is good. I think it comes into play untapped. I think that card's
Yeah.
good. But anyways, moving on to a good card, Generous Gift. Um, hey guys, we got good removal at instant speed in white. Um, the
Oh
notable
yeah.
thing is that this pops any permanent, so you don't have to play dedicated Grave Hate to, or not Grave Hate. You don't have to play dedicated Land Destruction to pop those Gretchen lands anymore if you're in white.
I love this card. I think it goes in less decks than people think it does. Like
Yeah,
it looks like an auto include, right?
it
But I actually
does.
don't think it is.
Yeah, like this card looks insane, but realistically, I think it's kind of hard to slot into decks, which is crazy.
Weird. Yeah, that's I have the exact same feeling about this card. Like I was looking at like Gut and all these other decks. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put this. Wait, no, I'd rather play Angelic Purge because it exiles and then I don't have a blocker. Then I could play this, but no, wait, I don't want it there either. But oh, Abdel, this is perfect in Abdel. It replaces Resculpt. But I'm like, but I still like Resculpt too because it's only 2 mana. I'm like, crap. Like, it's kind of hard to find a home for this card, which is, I don't know, like, what do you think? I mean, you're with me on this one or what?
Yeah. Islane. So I'm also surprised by Generous Gift before Beast Within. I think the reasoning is for just because of how long people have been complaining about white in in Commander. Not that this is a new card, but they're just
It's
giving us
still
a reprint
insane.
of this while all the casuals in Commander think green is good. Meanwhile, on the competitive end, green is just crying. Um, so yeah, this was an interesting one. And yeah, the 3/3 is relevant for some decks, but like if you're in Abdel, who cares if they get a 3/3, right? Like
Yeah, exactly. But that's like the one deck that I'm like, yes, goes right in.
Bastion Protector probably plays this. Not that that deck is super competitive, but
Well, as of yet, we have a few people working on the list trying to get it there.
yeah.
I think there's a lot more tools for
Um,
it that existed in the past.
I think I'm probably gonna play this in Teshar just because I think this is really strong removal for mono white specifically. But yeah, I think once you have an extra color, it's difficult to find a slot for this, and even in mono white, some decks are gonna struggle to find a slot.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird that, like, on first glance, when this got revealed, my brain like exploded.
Yeah, I was like, this is an automatic staple. And then I
Yep.
started thinking about what you actually played in, and I was like, huh.
Yeah, exactly. I did the exact same thing, so makes me sad.
But yeah.
But
Next up, we got Goliath Sphinx.
all right, next up,
This is a card I
Gutter
bought
Snipe.
for a
Gutter
commander
Snipe.
deck when
Why
I
are you
built my
talking
first
about
deck.
this?
Because you talked
What?
about your nostalgia card and your casual card. I
Oh,
put
okay.
this in a commander deck once, and then I cut it. Anyways.
Oh, whoa, whoa! You forgot the best part about this card. It's Greg Staples. Okay, next. Gutter Snipe is bonkers, right?
Yeah,
It's a
Gutter Snipe's crazy.
freaking dude. You could tutor this. It's a freaking goblin. Like what?
Yeah, I mean, we get another pinger for Curious control decks that also deals more damage,
Like
and helps you win if you don't find combo, just like getting passive damage triggers.
this card's flavor text is literally us in this format. I found a new toy. Wanna play? Like
Yeah.
this is insane.
Well, yeah, this
Like
card's pretty wild.
yeah,
Um,
love it.
TPI, Malcolm Curiosity control decks.
I do think it's the best in Malcolm Kedis specifically because Malcolm Rog will kind of have trouble casting this because it's 3 mana.
I mean, I'm playing this in Malcolm Breaches like
Would
every
you
day of the
really?
week. Yes, it's just
Okay.
another pinger, and it gives you a win condition for your control deck if you can't find your combo.
Okay.
Not that Breaches struggles to find combos, but yeah. I mean, that deck's already just playing every pinger, so
What do
might be
we?
the most impactful downshift for cPDH. Fintorn says.
Oof.
Um,
I'd argue that one, Finhorn. I think Dread Return is my pick for that.
I think Dread Return has the most potential. I think this will probably see more play, just because we have so many decks that like pingers.
Yeah.
Um,
That I agree with this lane. Very sexy for the pingy decks. Hell yeah.
yeah, well,
100%.
we'll see. It'll get a lot of play, that's for sure. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and move on.
Boros Abdel with an Archaeomancer. That's actually a legitimate win condition. He's not wrong. So, yeah. Okay. So, Kunks with the Gutter Snipe being
Yeah,
a.
but you know what else is a win condition in that instance? Literally any pinger. Um,
Yeah.
Anyways, Legion Vanguard. Uh, it's another sack outlet, which is something.
I think this deck's pretty sweet, actually.
And it mills.
Or that card. Sorry.
Like it can mill your non-lands, right?
This
That's
would
how
be
this
pretty good in
works.
White Black Abdel.
Put the card into your hand if it's a land. So yeah, like it's kind of card draw slash mill. So some form of card advantage. Sack outlet. 2 mana, like it's fine.
Yeah, I like it. I'm about it. So
Yeah. Next card. Let's go ahead and skip it.
all right. I agree.
7 mana, shoot someone for a bit of damage. Anyways.
All right. Next.
Ministrant of Obligation. It's two
Ah,
bodies or three bodies on one card for decks that care about it. Um,
discard sauce, man. I want this card in so many decks, but being 3 mana
you
is the
think this card's
most.
sauce?
I do discard. It puts 1/1 flyers. That's actually relevant. It puts 1/1 flyers, and what it does, unlike okay, hear me out. Hear me out. It puts 1/1 flyers, but unlike Abdel and Third Path and all these other decks that put the same named creatures and so on and so forth, this puts a 1/1 white and black spirit, which is kind of hard to come by in the format as a token. And you get two of them. So this is like an awkward lingering souls kind of card where you're like, here's a random body, and it's a human, and you're gonna get two flyers afterwards. Like,
That is not good. This guy is only good if your deck is abusing the multiple bodies, and I will stand by that. You are not playing this in any deck that doesn't care about the multiple bodies.
well, why is
Um,
that though? It's
who
a good it's
cares?
sack fodder.
Nice vanilla 3 mana 2/1. Anyways, flicker combo?
Oh my gosh.
Bro, like,
Back
who
yeah, you just brought
cares?
us all the way back to the beginning of what we're doing right now.
This card
Uh,
doesn't matter unless you're playing, like, Dinath or, like, Island's
Gut could
talking
play
about.
this.
Like,
There's a
Gut
3/3.
can kind of play this.
These are 3/3 flyers at Gut. What do you
Yeah,
mean
like,
kind
Gut
of
can
play
kind of
that?
play this.
Like, this is
But yeah,
sauce.
once again, it cares about those bodies.
Yeah.
Decks that are trying to play like Ashnod's Altar can play this. Aristocrat strategies can play this, but this as just a generic card is garbage. Um,
Yeah, but it's a card of synergy. It's a card with synergy involved.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly. It's good
so
in the decks that care about the bodies, like I said. But if you don't care about the bodies, if you're trying to play this because I get two flyers, no, like,
well, I mean, sure, our
and it
eight
has to die.
seven flyer is kind of in the same boat.
Yeah,
All right,
exactly. I wasn't
this
arguing
next
it was a good card.
this next card sauce. This next card sauce. Meyer Triton. This card's good. It's a 2 mana 2/1 Death Toucher, and it's a zombie, and it
Wow, that's
mills you,
crazy. Oh,
and you gain
sorry,
two.
you're still
Being
talking.
okay, first off, being a zombie is actually relevant. For the record,
Yeah, no, the mill's good. Two
and,
mana mill with a good, decent body for
I mean,
defense.
you gain 2 life. Like that's kind
Eh,
of good.
I don't care too much about that, but you
In
know,
black, in mono black, gaining 2 life is really relevant.
it's a
So,
nice upside, but definitely not why I'm playing the card. Um,
all right, you take the next one. What is the next one?
the next one is a commander we got downshifted to common. You can now play Murmuring Mystic inside of your TPI decks, everyone. Um,
Are you trying to get me to when you say that
it's a
like
I
it's a
I
what?
think this card
It's a what? It's a
looks
what?
way
You're gonna
better
put
than
that
it
in
is.
TPI. Be honest. You're gonna put this card in TPI.
I think this
So
card looks way better than it actually is.
yeah, because it's not consistent. You lose the consistency of having the creatures. So
No,
like
I that's not why I think this card's bad. You keep saying that like having a card that could win the game in your deck is bad. I don't care if you only draw it half the time. If it actually wins you the game in your deck, you're playing it.
ooh.
Um, but I don't know. Like 4 mana for this is rough. That's my take. I just don't think it's actually as good as it looks.
I mean, you could tutor for this card though,
Yeah,
right?
you could. You can wisdom
Like
cycle
you
for it.
you could tutor for it, which is like an upside. But like my argument is that it's inconsistent. It's you're like, okay, I have a murmuring mystic. And I know you're like, well, it'll win the game one time. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna build my game around getting this card. So then you're gonna take a turn off to find it, then you're gonna take a turn off to play it, and you're gonna hope that the table leaves you alone for 3 turns for you to get this online.
Yeah,
Seems
that's what I'm saying. I just don't think
yeah.
it's that good.
I think the card is good. It's just if my third path iconoclast does this already, why am I trying to double the double?
Yeah,
Or like,
Fendhorn brings up Sailor's Bane, which I do think it's probably decent there. just to give you edict fodder.
I do not think
Um,
it's good there because Sailor's Bane is actively milling itself.
but
So
you're
you're gonna
also
put this into
actively
your
like
graveyard.
dumping your hand in that deck. I guess you're not dumping it because you're trying to cantrip, but you're trying to just like go through your
Dump your
cards
hand.
as fast as
Yeah.
possible still. So
Yeah. You're actively running through the deck. Like if this was like in a slower version of Sailor's Bane, but it have to be like a much slower version, right? To where you play this card. After you find this card, then you put this card, then you begin the process because you're not thought scouring, you're not mental noting, right? Like it's just it stops you from doing what you're trying to do in the decks that want to do this card, right?
yeah, Shardbearer, it does give you redundancy for TPI if it's targeted, but realistically, TPI like never gets targeted for removal. It dies passively to board wipes sometimes, but I don't think I've ever seen a TPI countered, and I think
Yeah,
I've
or
seen it
killed.
had targeted removal pointed at it like once.
Yeah. It's because it's 2 mana. It gets underneath the counter
Yeah,
spells,
like,
and it's just like,
and
why
it's
am I
just
gonna
like,
kill a
yeah,
2/1?
it'll come back for the next like 3 times if I kill it, you know? Like,
Exactly. And this makes one color creatures where TPI's annoyance is those artifact tokens. They're such a pain.
yeah, and a lot of the
So
synergy is built around those pingers for artifacts and stuff. But
exactly.
yeah, anyways, um, Siani, isn't that like some big blue deck? I don't even remember what that card is.
I do not know Siani.
Let me look it up.
Look at that card.
Siani. I spelled it wrong. How do you spell it?
Uh
Siani. There we go. Yeah, it's the flying partner. Whenever it attacks, scry X, where X is the number of attacking creatures with flying, and you pair this with like, oh wait, the blue partner that draws when you scry is rare, so you can't pair it with that. I don't know what you're pairing this with. Maybe the white commander that cares about flyers with partner. So yeah, I guess it goes in that deck, but I don't know if it particularly makes the deck viable per se.
well, that does exactly what we attempt to do when we're building decks, right? Like we're going to be competing with our commander's casting costs with Murmuring Mystic. So
But yeah. Anyways, next card, Mirrorsmith. This card's interesting. One thing that this card does is if we ever get to a point where we can find Ashnod's Altar consistently, this does give you a third way to make the Ashnod's Altar loop work in place of either Golem Foundry or Foundry Inspector. Um, it does replace one of those pieces in the Ashnod's Altar loop. It's also just like okay if you're playing artifact stuff. Franklin says maybe okay in gut, but you need to only draw into artifacts. Yeah,
I
yeah, I
could see
think
this in
it's
gut. I've actually been testing it in gut, trying to see if it works because these are tokens, so they're 3/3s for 1 mana, so 1 mana 3/3. And cards like Chromatic Star, Sphere, all those cards, you don't have to cast those on curve, right? You just play them for gut fodder. So this does have potential to build an army for you for like little to none. So
yeah,
I don't know if it's good yet. I am testing it. So it this is one of those cards that's really hard to read, you know. So,
yeah, for sure. Um,
but on that note, I'm need a 2-second break. My son just woke up and I gotta go check on him.
yep. So, how we doing, chat?
I will be right back, guys.
How we feeling about getting through this? Dig site excavator was downshifted. Gonna make me look up cards, huh? Dig site excavator. Did I misspell it? No. Is it just pulling them up and Spanish. Dig site engineer. What card are you talking about? The gut floor of Mirrorsmith is a 4-1. Yeah, like you can just sack the Mirrorsmith, but it's also like that's the floor of every deck or every card in gut that is a creature or artifact. So realistically, is it still worth that slot, you know? Dig site engineer. Recast an artifact, pay 2, make a construct. Yeah, that would be very good, and there's a reason that's a rare. Honestly, though, would it be that good? Um, this looks like it'd be really good in Liara. I would definitely play that in Liara. Oh yeah, the Findhorn. I made a slot for Cathodian and put it back into Teshar. Found some more interesting lines for it, so. There he is.
All right. What did I miss?
Oh, you know, just chatting.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Alrighty, let's move on to the next card. Nadir's Nightblade. It's another Mirkwood Bats or whatever.
It's no. Well, yeah. Like this this card is disgusting, right? Like
I
this
mean, that's what we said about Mirkwood Bats.
Yeah, but like the thing is that the more of these get printed, the better the others get, right? So now that we have multiple
Ooh,
variants of this, and it does state token, it doesn't state creature token, any token.
that is true. And you do
Just like
gain life.
yeah, just
And
like the
it's not a
bats.
sacrifice trigger, it's just to leave the battlefield.
Yeah,
So, you
so
know, it also works with bouncing stuff if that's relevant for your deck for some reason, or
I mean, in echoing
exiling
truth,
with,
you echoing truth an opponent's board state, you're just dead, right?
I mean, notably, it also works with exiling
Abdel.
your tokens with Abdel. Yeah, just
Yep.
exile your board to 1/1. So, once again, a win
Abdel.
for Black White Abdel.
It's like we're saying something.
Yeah.
This card's nuts.
Um,
It's 3 mana too.
Black White Abdel definitely getting better this set.
And I will state it's a 1/3.
This
Yeah.
is not stacked. No, Fedor, stop.
What stacks? Oh. I call this I will not say I agree with that statement. I will not say I don't agree. I will say this is a win condition.
If
I will say this is to
anything,
win
this is a
condition.
Punisher effect. This is not stacked. Anyways, um, moving on. Phyrexian Gargantua. I guess this is something you can reanimate to draw cards. That's what I have to say.
Okay, good. All right, cool.
Um,
Next.
Rapacious One. This card is cool and casual.
This card's insane and casual.
Um,
This is a card that does honestly walk the line of being too good because it's 6 mana, right? It's a ton. So you're not going to play this in competitive. But in casual, it deals combat damage to a player. You create that many Eldrazi's? Like, that's insane, right?
yeah, maybe if you're playing like what's the Jund guy, Mr. Orfeo Reanimator, you can play this maybe.
Yeah.
But because yeah, this would be crazy if you're able to cheat it out.
It's
But
like Islane's all about that Denethor.
Yeah, for Exene Gargantua and Denethor. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe,
I
but do you really want to spend 6 mana on that?
Yeah, Islane's about that slow grind. All about it.
Alrighty. Well,
I'm being sarcastic. I have no idea. I
next
mean,
up. Oh,
I could
unless you want to keep
see it.
talking.
Yeah, no, I could. Two life isn't a lot in that. In fact, two life isn't anything
Oh,
in
the
that deck.
life I don't care about at all.
Yeah,
I just don't know if 6 mana is worth that.
yeah, it's two cards. You know.
It's 2 cards. It's also your entire turn
Yeah, yeah.
in the late game.
All right, reowned weaponsmith.
Renowned.
Oh, renowned. Oh, you're right.
Renowned. This is a cool mana dork for artifact decks. Like, tapping for 2 is pretty good.
It's weird though, right? Like,
Is it? I think if you're playing a blue artifact deck, this card is very good.
what artifact are you gonna put into play with it?
Bro, I don't know. You're playing blue artifacts.
There you go. You can't even name a card.
It pays for all your mana rocks. Like, it
Sure.
taps for all your mana rocks. It taps to activate your Bonder Ornament and Network Terminal and all that jazz.
Okay.
Like,
Yep.
it is good. If Are you telling me that if you could play a card that tapped for 2 mana, you wouldn't play it at 2 mana?
It doesn't play my commander tax or anything else that I'm trying to do in the
No,
whole deck, but
but
play my rocks? No, I'm not
you
playing
said
it.
anything in the whole deck. If your entire deck is an artifact deck, this pays for your entire deck. Like,
Yeah, but
this
like,
goes in an artifact deck, hands down. You are not
yeah,
playing this if you're playing blue artifacts.
correct. I'll give you that. Yes. But I can't name like any payoffs or like why I'm playing blue artifacts to begin
Bro,
with.
I don't know. You're playing Padim.
You hit me with that?
Anyways, reverse engineer. Draw 3 with improvise.
This is pretty good. This is
Yeah,
pretty good,
it's all
right?
right.
It's another third path iconoclast card, right?
Yeah,
Like,
the tokens are artifacts.
yeah, like this card's good. Oh, Finhorn
Avalanche
says
color?
avalanche color. Are you talking about the renowned weaponsmith Finhorn, or are you talking about reverse engineer?
How many artifacts are you playing in avalanche color? The
I do
tutor is
not
irrelevant.
remember.
Yeah, you should probably not be using the tutor unless you're a deck that is an artifact deck that loops Vial of Dragonfire as your win condition, I guess.
Yeah.
Heartpiercer Bow, does that one turn things into pingers?
He's talking about the weaponsmith.
Yeah,
So
Heartpiercer Bow. It pings creatures. I was gonna say if it pings face, then maybe you could use it to tutor it out in a Malcolm deck if you cared about it that much, but no, it only pings creatures. So Heartpiercer Bow is pretty much always irrelevant, and Vial of Dragonfire is maybe a win condition if you're playing like there we go. You play this in Tribute Mage. The mono
Tribute
blue egg
Mage?
decks.
Oh, okay.
This
can see
card's
that.
crazy there for sure. But yeah.
All right, puzzle. I'm gonna teach you something for a change. Where are you looking for the cards? Like you're like going up top, searching for them individually?
Oh, for the random cards, yes.
Yeah. If you go down into faces, tokens, and other parts, like right below the card, it tells you
Oh, right there.
it
Yeah.
it literally lets you pull those cards up
Cool.
right there, which is kind of
Good
sweet.
to know. So yeah,
So,
Vial of Dragonfire doesn't hit face.
mm-mm.
Oh,
No,
then yeah,
it's
I
just
guess the
target
tutor
creature.
is pretty much always irrelevant then. Yeah, never
Yeah.
mind.
And then Finhorn thought it
And
was
yeah,
also activated. Yeah,
yeah,
that was my
only
thing
of
too.
artifacts. So yeah, this probably sees play in Tribute Mage or whatever the mono blue artifact tutor commander is.
Yep,
But yeah,
it's
um,
rough.
yeah,
But
like we said, reverse engineer, good card draw in TPI.
yeah, another good card in TPI. So
Rock
Next,
Shambler. It's a big vanilla. Next.
I mean, it's Mortician Beetle for 1 more mana, which is like awkward to me. Like, what are we doing here?
Anyways,
So,
after that, I think this is my vote for most impactful downshift. This
really?
card is stupid.
All right, so next.
So they gave us more redundancy for Flicker by giving us another Archaeomancer. And
this
this one's good, just like as a creature.
Yes, it's just good as it. Dude, this card is prowess and we didn't even say its name. Shipwrecker or Shipwreck Dowser.
It's a
This
merfolk wizard.
so you get tutor for it.
It's
And it's a
got
3/3.
prowess.
It's a 3/3.
So
It's
we had Scrivener before, right? In the 5 mana slot. That
Yep.
was a 2/2 that only got back instants. So now, at bare minimum, if you were playing that card, you just replace it with this. It gets back sorceries, it's bigger, and it has prowess.
Yep. I mean, strict upgrade.
Yeah, this card
Strict
is,
upgrade. Yep.
And Flicker is good, so I expect to see a lot of play from this card, as well as Gutter Snipe.
So the next card is a card that you told me, 1v1 that this would be the best card in your opinion because it's insane. It has 2 keywords and it's huge. So go for it. Hit them all off with your favorite card.
Anyways, Spectral Grasp.
You can't skip the name of it.
What even is the name of this card? Sky Snare Spider. It's got some cool artwork, I guess.
It's got some sick art.
Anyway, Spectral Grasp, we got a better pacifism. This card's actually kind of neat. It's a pacifism, except only if they're attacking you. So they can still attack opponents.
Yep.
So if you want to play pacifisms, this card's pretty cool.
Yeah, this card is pretty sweet.
I think we have a lot better options in the 3 mana slot that turn off activated abilities as well.
Agreed.
But if you want to play pacifisms, this card's probably the best pacifism we have.
Agreed.
Anyways, Spite Bellows.
This card's good. All right.
3 mana, deal 6,
I used to play this card. I actually think this goes into a couple decks. I think Spite Mare picks this card up. Whether a lot of people play Spite Mare or not, this goes in Spite Mare, in my opinion. Also, 3 mana dealing 6 is very hard to come by. So, at worst, it's a 3 mana deal 6 to kill the thing, right?
It is sorcery speed.
Yeah. But you could also flicker this. So, if this is this is a card with the correct synergy, we don't have this in the format as a whole. At all. Like everything else, like 2 damage, 3 damage at best. This is 6 for 3. This card's pretty bonkers.
I still think it's fine. I think in almost every deck, I'd rather play Heated Debate.
Yeah, this could kill Dargo on curve.
Yeah, it can.
So that's kind of like part of why it's still good to me.
But yeah. It's okay. Next card. This card's an insane one. We get another 2 damage board wipe in red. This one's 4 mana, but that's only if you use it at instant speed. This is Sulphurous Blast, and if you cast it during your main phase, it deals 3 to each creature and each player, so it also hits face. Yeah, good card.
This card's good. The end. I mean, this card is good.
Yeah.
This is the first board wipe that's just going to nuke Gut in its tokens clear.
Yeah, I mean, 2 damage still nukes Gut unless they protect it. It still nukes their board. But
no, because if they protect the Gut, the tokens still live.
If they don't protect it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but
this guarantees that the skeletons go away at least, which is very nice.
Exactly. I mean, the deck is made to protect Gut, so
yeah,
it's kind of hard to be like, if they protect it, well, that's what they're doing, right?
Yeah, but you could get help from other people or be playing blue. Anyways, Next up, almost enough keywords to maybe make this card okay, but
I mean, this is going to win every casual table ever. 6 mana for a 3/3 flying first strike vigilance lifelink. Okay. I took a breath. Like, what in the F?
yeah,
Like,
Sunblade Angel, if you're just listening. But yeah, it's just a big kind of beat stick.
it's a
Um,
beat stick. It gains you the life back. They can
it's
hit you
only a
back.
3/3, but it does gain the life. It has vigilance and first strike, so it's a great blocker. It has evasion. It's a good card, but yeah, not super impactful in our format, probably. Um, looks really cool as a win con in limited, though. Um,
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be insane and limited. Like, this card is bonkers.
yeah, and it's a common.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Supply Runners is the next card. Um, it's it pumps your board when it comes into play with +1/+1 counter. So it is a permanent buff,
Yep.
which is something. It's
This
5
card's
mana.
This card's really good in mono white decks. It's going to pump your board. A lot of the mono white decks used flicker effects and things like that to continue getting card advantage and just advantage in general. And this looks, this plays better than it appears. This is one of those cards that's kind of like, eh, but in actual gameplay, this card's insane. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
already been testing this card. So,
Mono White and Boros Abdel play this maybe. Um,
yeah, exactly. I
good.
mean, even like Phyrexian Censor could play this card. You put this card into play, it's going to make Censor 4/4. Like, it makes all of your 1/1s and 2/2s, 3/3s and 2/2s. And then a lot of those creatures already have to pay 4 into it to pump themselves as well. So this just does it for the 5 mana instead of you reinvesting it every turn. So
Yeah,
this
it
card's
does
good.
cost a card, but still.
Yeah, this card is good.
Um, next up, we get a card that is crazy in Simic Untapper stuff. Yeah, Phyrexian Censor will play that card, Finhorn says. Um,
Yeah, yeah, card's insane in that deck.
so we got Vizier of Tumbling Sands. This is just a 3 mana 1/3 that taps to untap a permanent. Or, notably, it has cycling for 1 in a blue, and whenever you cycle it, you untap target permanent. So this card is crazy for Gretchen. It just replaces a land untapper because we were playing 3 mana 1/1 land untappers. So it just replaces one of them by default um, because it's bigger. But also the cycling ability on this is crazy in Gretchen. It can be a ritual. It draws you the card, so it doesn't go minus on card advantage. Yeah, this card is very good for exactly Gretchen. Um, probably sees play in a couple other decks, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, card is good. I agree. Card's nuts. A 1/3, that's really relevant for the format.
Yeah,
I mean,
unfortunately, it is a human, so you can't take advantage of the. Oh, it does also say another target permanent. I didn't read that the first time. At first, I thought you could mutate something on top of this and then like tap itself like you can with the wizard, but
got it.
you cannot do that, and it's a human, so you couldn't do it anyways. But anyways, I'm saying anyways. Next up, Bullshock Battle Gear. Equipment.
Yep, next. Like, three
Yeah,
for three? No. For 3 for 3 for 3. No.
like even with Arden, I don't know if you play this.
No. I mean, it's the yeah. Yeah.
Like maybe, I
I
guess if
think
you have enough equipment that give evasion, you can play it. But
yeah. I mean, not too excited, to be brutally honest. So, but next one. Wind Rider Wizard. I've heard a lot of people hype this card up. I don't think this card is good. Here, do you? How about this? Do you like this card or no?
I mean, it's better than the wall that people are already playing. So
So, but that's where I think everybody's getting it backwards, right? So everybody's like, "Oh, this is better than the wall." It's not, right? Because the wall is a 0/5 and it's protecting you from getting hit.
No, this is better.
Why is it better? Because it's a wizard?
Because this triggers more than once per turn.
Sure. I mean, if you're looking to dig that deep, yes, this is strictly better. But a lot of people are using the wall to be a wall, and this is not a wall,
I am
right?
never
This is not
playing
going to
that
protect
wall
your
to be a
face.
wall. The wall is like fine. I'm not going to complain about the wall, but I'm using it for the text on the card, as you
Hmm.
should do in competitive play. So,
Uh,
yeah, I think this is better. Um,
I don't think it's better. It's a 2/2. It's
yeah,
just
but this
it's
blocks
it's not
flyers. If we're
blocking.
going to go down that line, this blocks flyers.
Oh, are you dying to a crackling Drake?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you know it's not stopping a crackling drink. Academy wall. Um,
Uh,
You died to Sprite Dragons, so you know what's not blocking a Sprite Dragon?
I got murdered by Sprite Dragon. There was a complete difference of what happened to me during that match.
Well,
I got
Wind
told
Rider
I had
Wizard would have
no,
stopped that.
would have
Um,
stopped it. I think
lets you
you're a
dig
bit
for an
confused.
answer and blocks it.
Uh,
Anyways, uh, on to the
I think
last
the card.
card.
I do think the card is good for the record, just not as good as everybody's giving it because it's being a 2/2. So,
Next up, we got Witch's Cauldron.
oh, is
Um,
this a? It's this looks like a card that would be good in white black Abdel. Too bad it's not a black card.
is this that good in Black White Abdel?
Yeah, it gives you a sack engine, and you could
Kind
blink it.
of.
No, you could blink it. You eat it.
Yeah, I guess it
Yeah, it
draws through
reloads.
your deck if you have 3
Infinite
mana
mana.
rocks.
You eat it.
Well,
Keep going.
so you need enough mana rocks to get back whatever you're using to flicker it, activate the Witch's Cauldron,
There's a lot of hoops you have
and
to jump through
cast
for it.
it,
Yeah,
and it's
there's a
slow.
it's a ton of hoops you have to draw through. But on the floor, it's sack a token to gain a life and draw a card.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's a
not bad.
consistent engine to dig through the deck with. So
Yep, it's
card
not
is good.
bad.
Yeah,
I guess you can also use it to sack Abdel for your graveyard flicker stuff, but
correct. And you could eat it, make more tokens, and so on and so forth.
yeah, it's
So,
a fine card for aristocrats decks and such. But
oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
so yeah,
But
we got a few really good cards in this set, which is nice. That's what I am looking for in these sets. Just like 5 to 10 cards that are really good. I I like to see that, and a lot of more niche cards as well that could slot into like 1 or 2 decks each, which is totally fine to exist.
yeah, I agree. I'm always looking for a few good cards here and there in all these sets, but like I think this one gave us more than what we were expecting. Because it was downshifts, right? It wasn't just like clear, like look at all the new cards. This was just like check this out. And Wizards caught me by surprise. I did not think we were going to get Dread Return. I went on record several times saying Dread Return will never
But
happen.
you did.
And I was just like, this card could never happen until Zombify comes out. So Zombify's first, and then we get Dread Return because Dread Return is the far end of the spectrum. And then they hit us with Dread Return, which makes me wonder Pyrohemia is Pestilence. So are we going, if we keep going down this path, cards like that aren't far fetched anymore, right? So
Yeah, I would like what's this card called? Pyroclasm? I
I would
think
love
that would be
Pyroclasm.
cool. I'd like
I would love
Pyroclasm.
Pyroclasm. Yep.
But yeah. Any thoughts from chat before we wrap it up here? I thought the surprise other white commander was gonna be SRAM. SRAM would be pretty cool, but yeah, Teshar is also very good. I think both are very powerful options.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, I think Akiri kind of does. No, I take
Akiri,
that all back. Akiri's good, but not definitely not SRAM.
yeah, Akiri is. I think Akiri's pretty great. Be honest with you, like Akiri really does something that the rest of the format really hasn't done, right? Because it's being able to draw with equipment and try to keep the game going with your equipment, right?
Yeah.
So
So the thing about SRAM is that SRAM doesn't actually like give you any new combo lines or anything with this card draw, whereas Teshar does. So SRAM definitely eats through the deck a lot faster, but I don't know. SRAM better than Kimba? Yeah, probably.
yeah,
Um,
Kemba's still Kemba doesn't care about what equipments you're playing though, right? Like that's at
I
least
mean, neither
Kemba
does SRAM.
accidentally. I
SRAM
mean, you
says
just
play cheap equipment.
yeah, draw through your deck. Yeah. Like I don't know. Like once we actually start getting yeah, I'm gonna say it, good equipment, like instead of just like these like a bone splitter. Like a bone splitter's good, don't get me wrong, but like once we actually start getting like much better equipments that are like, I want this equipment in my deck, right?
Yeah. Oh, when's the Argentum armor downshift? I will play Arden if we get that downshifted.
Argentum armor. Oh my.
I would play
That would be
that.
insane.
uh, SRAM
Jeez.
targets triggers on auras and equips. Yeah, aura and equipment, and vehicles, right? I think that's what SRAM does.
Yeah. It's vehicles.
Aura, equipment, vehicle. Yeah. Um, yeah, Teshar is historics. So Teshar triggers off of literally any artifact, which means it gets a lot of extra combo lines. Triggers off of your chromatic star, bring back your Cathodian,
Yeah, it's
bring
got
back any
so
three
much
drop.
crazy
Like
cards.
the lines in this deck, I've been working on this deck, and the number
They're
of
pretty
lines are
ridiculous.
insane. It's got some very creative lines and such. So right now we're really just trying to figure out like how many combo pieces do we have to play, how much card draw, how much can we afford to commit to stopping other people, because the deck's probably not consistently going to be able to be the fastest deck at the table. So we need to have some kind of interaction. Um,
Yeah, agreed.
so yeah, Tashar is a big puzzle. Um, and I mean, it's in the name, right? I'll figure it out.
uh, well, I think that's it for us, my man. You want to
All right.
wrap this up?
I will close it out. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. It was good to have you all in chat on our surprise stream.
Yes. Oh,
Honestly,
we got to hit him with the little caveat, though, man. We got to hit him with the caveat. We are obviously here just talking a lot of shit, you guys. Like, this was us just having a good time talking about these cards. Yes, we were a bit mean to some of them, obviously. But I think everybody knows us now, right? Like, we are the competitive guys, and that's kind of what we do. So,
yep. Yeah, my first name is Rubik's Island. Send me your Teshar list if you want to, Island, and we'll we'll take some comparisons. I've been working with Fendhorn and a bunch of people from the Teshar cEDH community to work on this commander, so I think my build's pretty good. But yeah, there's always room for improvement, right?
yep,
But yeah,
exactly.
thanks for tuning in. If you guys disagree with any of our takes, make sure to leave them in the comments. Get that traction going, and like the video, subscribe if you haven't already when you're down there. And we'll see you all next time. Thanks for tuning in.